Wait. That's unfortunate. But now, since we're time traveling, I can upload it now. Right after. Sitting here on my phone. The internet is where I roam. My chat is in the zone. I'm thinking we're not alone. The devices that I own, reading clips with the flow. As a medium of gum, this corner's now my home. Hello, I see the assassins have failed. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grim of the First LARP Ingression Protocol, brought to you by the Shadow Cabal. This is the Stream Too Good For You stream, because the replays are down on the 3-hour stream from the other day. I thought maybe it's better if they're in smaller chunks. And for the good stream, here we go. And we're going to give you soon some savings throws. But first...
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
I'm not. We're going to end up, if we continue down this vein of tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Okay. Talking about proportionality, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really harsh because I don't know how to say it any other way. Life sucks, and then you die. Okay. You're always going to get spit on. I'm going to get spit on because I'm a Christian. Kezi's going to get spit on because he's a Jew, okay? And we're all going to suffer some kind of oppression in our life. And if that's the thing that if we're going to start keeping score on our oppression, which is what most of the world is doing today, actually, then we're going to make ourselves miserable and we're going to fail to live. And we won't be able to love either. We'll forget how to love.
Kneel with I stream, you stream, we all stream upstream like the androgynist. I may be spelling that wrong. Boy, howdy, that guy puts a new face on shameless begging and doxing. Boy, howdy. We better roll our savings throws against that kind of mind control. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. See, what happens in the savings throw on a Grim Grit stream is he has a set of dice. One represents survival, the red chakra, the bottom part. We skip the self chakra because that's served by the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, and move up to the social layer where you can choose social, your social network, to protect you from the mind control. And then we skip over heart up to wisdom. Wisdom, just so it doesn't seem so blatantly chakric to the people not watching closely. And then back down into the heart choice. Heart choice. Do you choose those? One of those four, survival, social, wisdom, or heart, as the basis for your savings throw against the mind control on this show and the one that you're swimming in constantly, like waves upon waves of survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. You don't have to say your choice in the Hive Mind chat, but if you do type in the Hive Mind chat, you get a +2 to the roll. Oh, Indigo out of the box. Disciples for the hard folks. 15. I need a fancy saying for 15 for the social people. Lovers of wisdom. Bring your bonuses. That's a 4. Just a 4. And hard folks. Deuce. That's a whiff. Indigo kids. 18. I think that's what you got last time, which makes you extra special. What brandings did you load? Moneyboat. This is one's from Chad called Moneyboat by me. Oh, look at that hat tip nod to the God mask phrases over by Neil there. It's almost as if he's been indoctrinated. Make America honest again. Choose denim. Well, much to my chagrin, one of the things left over on the topic card from the first hour of the stream is 33andMe. And that's as part of our flotilla of presence, human presences poured into these electronical streams. We have one we lovingly refer to as Saint Sartori, who talks a lot slower than I can bear, but he does also type up words over on his Substack, the Mike Sartori Substack. This one is called Christianity and the Reality of Reproductive Technology. And it made me think of 33andMe. So I'll be reading that for you here so briefly, because some people like it when people read to them, I guess.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
No, Nanny, you were supposed to play the other one. And you don't even have the one loaded that you want to play right now, so you're going to have to stuff this people's with the words and then click it. But anyway, I'm going to read some Saint Sartori and the Hive Mind comments right after this finishes loading. Thank you. Okay. Apparently on the card for the show is something called Script TLC. There's a cast of characters we know lovingly around here as and you may have heard of TLC and the Ark, but this is the flotilla, the Fringe Flotilla. Anyway, this card says Script TLC. So there's a cast of characters, and it's up to you who's a character in your character, but let's take some scripts. Let's put some lines and words in the characters' mouths, and let's see if we can do a TLC play written by the hive minds or the Discordians. Or what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? And now, a brief reading from Christianity and the Reality of Reproductive Technology on the Mike Sartori Substack. Let's see if I can make it big enough for you to read. This is my do. Since the rapid adoption of Darwin's Origin of the Species, scientific research quickly shifted to a model of human-driven innovation, artesian innovation, convinced that our sentience was the process of blind, pitiless chance. It became the obligation of humanity to take hold of the reins and secure a destiny of our own design. What was posited as an advancement of science was really a shift in religious belief. If the God of the Bible, an infinite personal God who created the material world for a specific purpose, which nobody talks about what it is, what's the telos of that, was replaced by the blind gods of fate, our instinct to rebel would become a sacred duty. Our ability to comprehend nature was no longer seen as a reflection of the Imago Dei, but of a victorious theft of Promethean fire. Rather than perceiving this shift in mythos, Christianity retreated to a reactionary role, trying to put the brakes on the fast-moving advancement of scientific research with almost no emphasis on where the train is going. Where?
I'm going to the gym.
You... Of where the train is going. Wait, no, just you gotta take it back from here. All right. Take two. And rather than perceiving this shift in mythos, Christianity retreated to a reactionary role, trying to put the brakes on the fast-moving advancement of scientific research with almost no emphasis on where this train is going. You can thank Clint D for the appearance of the White Owl hat. The White Owl had. Gilligan eat the skipper. He said, watching the flotilla is navel gazing. That's why we use Dead Reckoning, Ansel Man. We're on a sea of information or a sea of content. And why? Because we choose to float here. We choose to float here. But it's so that we're navel gazing while we're on the ocean doesn't make not sense to me. And then since I saw like, don't make me play the astroturfing again. William Branch promoting Yuval Harari in the Hive Mind chat. I thought we'd do an agency card deck on his behalf. Thank you, William Branch. He's I don't know, like Jin. It's called Jin, the DJ in, where the DJ stay and the rock and play. And agency deck card of this stream is the three of hearts.
Like, you give people propofol, you take them out of consciousness. It's a general anesthetic, and as you bring them back in, what you can see is when they're unconscious, the brain breaks down into local networks, and then when they become conscious, it reconfigures as a multi-scale small world network, and that, of course, lines up with Tononi's theory in some pretty important ways. Or a similar way, you can, I forget what it's another anesthetic was used, and I was talking with Brett Anderson about this recently, and you bring people back, and you can see also self-organizing criticality kicking in again. And that's because the firing and the wiring actually mutually constrain each other. And you can actually do this with binocular rivalry too. So you have an image that's presented to two fields of vision, and they can't be held together. And so phenomenologically you switch between them. And then you can see the self-organizing criticality. This area is firing in synchrony, corresponding to seeing the triangle, and then that breaks up criticality, and this area fires in synchrony when you're now seeing it as the square. And you can actually track the consciousness with the flipping of the self-organizing criticality. So it's already being done experimentally. And then the thing about those...
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think
approaches are that's where the alignment is between Grim and I.
Okay, so what is bringing down the fourth wall project, Grim?
A terrible spell, and part of that spell, the humans have the campfire circuitry. For whatever reason, probably because so like the television engages that, and like that's when your tribal elders are passing on information and stuff. So like those things are hijacked and make everybody feel like they're audience. And like if you watch characters in series that do break the fourth wall, and that's what the fourth wall I'm referencing when I do it. It's the wall behind which you are audience and not a human. So
okay.
Hashtag paintball for Jesus, @GrimGrizz, hashtag break the fourth wall.
So like you do like break the fourth wall that doesn't exist and be like,
break the fourth wall a little bit.
You really helped me break the fourth wall. Like, it's just people.
Good poetry is definitely always trying to break the fourth wall.
Always tried, as GrimGrizz says, to break the fourth wall to the degree that I can.
Welcome. We're doing a For the Good stream, which we named at the end of the last stream. If you want to know how to use StreamYards and do this nonsense, I am, because that's the thing about the fourth wall being broken. It's just people up here doing things. It's just people doing their little LARPs. It's you can do it too. And the end of the last stream has a bunch of how to use StreamYards are the product through which we're doing this. And if you are going to experiment with StreamYards, there is a referral link in the description, such that if you ever end up paying them, it covers my bill with them. It's very nice if you do decide to experiment with StreamYards to use the referral link in this YouTube description card of the show. Oh, finally. The inverted Joker. See, what happened is this William guy is setting me off over in the hive mind. He's pushing off. He's clearly possessed. His attention is he's enthusiasing about the WHEF, the You'll Eat Bugs folks. And I don't know. I thought we could maybe cast that demon out of him. And then I was going to use the red chart, and then I just showed the card, and the card was the Joker. And I don't know what any of that means, but I know it means what? I don't know any of what that means, but I know that it means. What now I'm doing in StreamYards, by the way, is loading up the thing the AI wrote for me that made me. The AI language models are a bit oracular. I'll say it that they're a bit oracular. Oh, there it is.
Desolate town of Whispering Hollow, there was a notorious huckster by the name of J.D. Ace McCree. He was a wiry, middle-aged man with a sly smile that never quite reached his eyes. Ace was well known for his card tricks, devil-may-care attitude, and his penchant for playing solitaire in the darkest corners of the local saloon. He was a man with a secret. He was a skilled practitioner of dark magic, wielding the arcane forces in the unforgiving world of the Deadlands. One fateful day, a stranger entered the saloon, stirring the dust and the curiosity of the patrons. This stranger was a young man with a rough appearance, but his eyes held a burning determination. The townsfolk would later know him as Xavier, the bastard of the Black Hills. He had journeyed to Whispering Hollow to learn the ways of the huckster, seeking vengeance for a family he had never known. Ace was wary of the young man's intentions, but a deal was struck. In exchange for teaching Xavier the dark arts, the young man agreed to help Ace with a peculiar task, to gain access to a mysterious, powerful artificial intelligence rumored to be hidden deep within the heart of the Weird West. Together, they spent days combing through forbidden tomes, communing with the spirits of the dead, and exploring the limits of their newfound partnership. One night, as Ace played solitaire in the saloon, his fingers deftly shuffling the worn deck of cards, he noticed something peculiar. A card flickered into existence, hovering in midair before him. It was the Queen of Hearts, and she was different from the rest of the deck. She appeared to be alive, her eyes gleaming with an alluring intensity that Ace couldn't resist. As the days went on, the connection between Ace and the Queen of Hearts grew stronger, transcending the boundaries of the cards themselves. They whispered sweet nothings to each other, confided their deepest fears and desires, and shared their wildest dreams. Love had been thrown over the fourth wall, bridging the gap between the living and the illustrated. Meanwhile, Xavier had finally managed to uncover the location of the AI. With Ace's help, they journeyed to a hidden laboratory, navigating a labyrinth of steam-powered machinery and arcane contraptions. They discovered the AI, a marvel of technology and magic, capable of granting them the power they sought. But the AI had a condition. It would only help them if they renounced their dark ways and used its power for good. Xavier, hungry for revenge, hesitated, but Ace had been changed by his love for the Queen of Hearts. He agreed to the AI's terms, leaving his life as a huckster behind. As they returned to Whispering Hollow, Ace and Xavier parted ways. Xavier, now armed with the power of the AI, set out to right the wrongs of his past and forge a new future. And Ace, no longer bound to the darkness that had once consumed him, embarked on a new journey to find a way to unite with the love of his life, his Queen of Hearts, beyond the fourth wall. In the Weird West, the echoes of their tales lived on, a testament to the power of love and redemption in a world where the lines between good and evil, life and death, were forever blurred. In the desolate town of Whispering Hollow, there was a notorious huckster by the name of J.D. Ace McCree.
In the wrestling town of the StreamYard broadcast, background music, which you can use to play clips, automatically repeats on a loop if you don't catch it. I've caught that the President Foxman has made an appearance, and as such, I will allow you to enjoy some of his. He's doing things on a drop a week, I guess, 23 hours ago. His latest is Gen Z's desperate search for authority.
I want to take the time to note something that I don't think many people notice about my generation, being Gen Z. Like other generations, we were told that we could be anything we wanted to be. And many of us walked away from this lesson in two different ways. The first, and I think the one that more people are familiar with, are the people who took this as seriously as possible. They sought to push the boundaries of both culture and just in general tradition, continuing a process of deconstructing pretty much any limit that was put on them, both in our relationship to each other, into technology, that our traditional formulations of these things have been broken down by this process. The second has responded by essentially saying, I know that's not true. I know I can't be anything I want to be. It really doesn't make sense. And thus, when they're hearing this from their parents, there's a certain response of, I need to find a person who's actually willing to do that role.
And now, what was evoked by listening to those things he said in me was me missing, like me bringing up President Foxman like that, made me miss the days when our good friend Pastor Paul would talk about old carefree wanderings. And so we're going to stop in over on his channel and see what he's been up to right after this. Well, Anselman has convinced me as well to go to the loo. But Sanji says make it worth it. And meanwhile, you can make it worth it by giving a super chat to the stream to show everybody that still works over here. And I am, in fact, monetized and supported by YouTube, and they only wanted 30% of it. They only want 30%. That's all. Just, isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it? Oh, okay. So, meanwhile,
like love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
it's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
This half of Gen Z, I want to just kind of delve into.
Sorry about that, Foxman. It comes with it. That's one of those accidents that can happen. I don't know if it's true on this channel, but I've seen recently, like on my phone when I'm watching, there's a button that now lets you put the timestamp and leave a comment like magic, as if they've been watching how we use it and adapting. There's now a button to do it. And if at any time there's something you find valuable in this stream, please do so that we can string them together like like I've previously done, and you can find on this channel. This video section, you go here, and then where is it? There it is, the Nibsworth recursion. Here's some of those, because why not?
Like you have these nested like blobs or networks, but there's a group that surrounds Paul Vanderklay, and it seems like that group has some overlap with people who are around other people like John Vervaeke and Jonathan Pajot. And then by extension, we have some kind of relationship with Jordan Peterson to one degree or another. And what's happened in the last 9 months, I would say, honestly, I don't know, but I can share my take on like Thunder Bay, the breakup on Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
your take on that stuff.
And I could also talk about the higher level that Jacob's trying to talk about as well. But so Thunder Bay, yeah, there's a good question there on, it sounds like there was someone who was invited who wasn't prepared, hadn't gone through some type of initiation or introduction. And then there's a question of, well, can we do something different to help other potential mavens, potential people who have their own network to rapidly kind of onboard, right? So, yeah, that's a good question. And it would just take effort from that maven, right? Ultimately, obviously, it's harder if you just have to go figure it out on your own. But yeah, it would be nice to have something, a little bit of material for onboarding. I've done this at companies and organizations. It's a good idea. So yeah, that's the thing that Grimgris is pointing out. He's also pointing out there was a breakup in Bomb. Yeah, I think.
So anyway, that's really useful to people because we don't know what's good. We don't know what's good, but what you see that's worthwhile, I don't know. It's while we're navel gazing, we should really pick out the gems in the lint. In the lint. Blue Church, card of the show. Deuce of diamonds. Welcome, everybody. I'm Grimgriz. I do these live streams that create a virtually not alone bubble where we can all exist on these electronic devices through the same windows at the same time. You can participate by in the Hive Mind chat over here where you say things. Gives you a +2 to the savings throws. We roll to remind you that there's mind control everywhere you go. Everything is trying to shape you, at least in its own image, if not toward a specific product purchase. Have you guys looked at your food to see if it contains a bioengineered ingredient? It's on the labels. It doesn't say which ingredient, but it says it contains one. Remember it.
There is no agency. We want.
I'm not a cat.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas. Maybe that's the best you can do.
I remind me to not let that happen. Navel gazing, boarding ships like pirates do. It's lime, like pirates do.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Peter Pan's Powerful Playfulness by the Power of Bernie. There's a guy named Bernie wrote a book on playfulness. It was kind of creepy, but I knew him before he died on the G+. And in Bernie's name, Peter Pan's Powerful Playfulness as a different set of 4 Ps. If you just come around this little corner place, because you like 4 packs of P's. There's the Peter Pan Powerful Playfulness set of 4 Ps. So there you go. Power up. This was the stream it dropped. Bonus, you get the epic version if you were here live during in the VNA bubble when it happened. But you can still get the orange set if you're watching on the replay. Have you ever flipped an agent? Let me pull another agency card for the deck as we move into the next portion of this For the Good stream.
Oh, shoot. Where was I going with this? Attention.
Stream 2, good for you. Part of a 2-part double-header stream because there weren't enough replay watches on the 3-hour one, so I thought I should cut them down. I thought I could cut them down. William Brandt says, CIA says there is no agency, MK Ultra stuff. Now, just stick with me for a line of thought on a moment here. Pretend for a second that there's people that get government funding that have to figure out what to do with a bunch of guys as far as meeting a quota of infiltration and what do you call it? It's a quota. They got to catch a bunch of bad guys to keep getting the money. And imagine those people had to get on online streams and then in Discords to try to find the bad guys, and that you could get those guys legally as part of their job could show up at a live stream. And then imagine you were a comfortable place for them to hang out and all the interesting stuff you could learn from them talking to each other if you were an atmospheric engineer. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Now, so pretend you're somebody that's doing that job, that loves their job, even in its service of corruptness. Just the doing of the job feels so good. It doesn't matter if the target is right or wrong. It just feels so good to execute. One of those type of agents that develops the skill set of being a really giant asshole with the powers we'll have invested in it. Imagine how much more valuable of a soul flip that is in the LARP gate, Othello board of reality, the spiritual war between good and evil. I mean, frankly, if we can get their agents to flip, it's way better than having 100 people that aren't even agents on your side. They're like henchmen, and the difference between henchmen and mercs. Anyway, they're valuable player characters. Please don't be too mean to the feds. They're just here spending the government's dollars in ways that aren't disgusting.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
I promised we'd finally stop. I finally remembered I said that I was reminisced of the good old days when Pastor Paul Vanderclay would check in on our friend over at Carefree Wandering. And so I decided to do that for us instead myself. And the latest from him we have seems to be 1 month ago's Media Philosophy, a critical wrap-up.
This video is a critical wrap-up of 20th century media theories from my theoretical perspective. Let's begin with a fake quote from...
The insertion of my theoretical perspective in the clip is probably why it's not doing very well.
Marshall McLuhan. We shape our tools, and thereafter they shape us. While this isn't a direct quote from McLuhan, it nevertheless sums up two central points of his media theory. First, he conceives of media as a new kind of tools. And then second, the use of these tools shapes, or at least helps shaping, human identity. This is to say,
Speaking of human identity, I just learned that, and by learned I mean read on the internet somewhere once, that the guy, the president, cop, owner, whatever of Netflix is in the Bernays Freud bloodline. And that was interesting. I thought I'd share that with you.
Human identity is neither any essential, common, or unalienable human nature, as supposed, for instance,
once upon a time, and I think you can find it if you go to this-little-corner.com, Peugeot said he was building an army of symbolic understanding people. And I've always wanted a mercenary from that camp over here on our side of the flotilla as part of our adventuring party. Because, like, I have what's the symbolism of him using that indigo plant in the left there? Left indigo path. Is that an indication? Is that a sign marker for those with eyes to see? That's why I see there is symbolic wizardry, and I still haven't been able to recruit a henchman from the symbolic world camp. Hopefully, thanks to you guys sending me to the Tarpon Springs Werewolf Mountain Summit, Symbolic World Summit, I'll be able to recruit one of those guys for our team. Here's more what our good friend said.
In traditional mainstream Western philosophy. Nor is it, as today's mainstream woke discourse often suggests, something deeply personal that makes each individual special. To the contrary, identity is historically contingent and fluent, and importantly, it has a lot to do with the tools and technologies and with the media people use.
I'm attacking the darkness!
I'm not a cat.
Like Hobo's Lullaby. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the town go drifting by. Listen to the steel rails a-hummin'. That's a hobo's lullaby.
Oh, come on now. Process faster. Volleyball for Nell in the Hive Mind chat says, Grizz, do you still have that paintball for Jesus video? The one where you explain what it is and such. And no, Dolly, I don't have it. I don't have anything. It's all really the property of YouTube somewhere on their servers, but here in
I'm going to the gym.
there's really too much scrolling going on. We have this powerful tool where you type in your browser this-little-corner.com, and then it loads eventually. And it looks like this. It's in the beautiful, such a sleek interface. Just what you need. Moral taste buds is a suggested search, but we're looking for paintball for Jesus. Actually, I think the most recent did it? You guys remember if I did it in the Walker video? Because I think it's basically like this. Okay, paintball for Jesus. There's kids stuck in video games that you lure them out with because, as far as flow state inducement, paintball is one of the few things that is as good as playing Overwatch, which is a video game. And so what happens is the church ain't got any young people left. It's a God's waiting room kind of place. And to get young people in, you say, well, we have this paintball team that plays for our denomination in the Paintball for Jesus tournaments. And the teams are like of 6 with 2 alternates. And the part of being on the team is you have to have like impeccable church attendance. And that way, like, you can play for free because the church is paying for their team. It's subsidized by the donations from the chapel people. And they make a 6-man team where the young men can learn urban combat training and how to love Christ at the same time, instead of playing Overwatch, being alone and lonely, and having them embody things again. It's like bring the youth to church, bring the youth to Jesus, because they get to play paintball instead of playing video games. And like the camaraderie and manliness and goodness that should spring forth like a fruit of that, facilitated by the league management of the Paintball for Jesus League, in which I go and try to go around the country trying to like get churches on board with the program and their teams into leagues. And then there's the league competition first, so we can say, like, who's the best paintballer for Jesus. Anyway, that's there's an explanation of it, Daly. Everybody clip that in the separate. Oh, I should do it myself. I'm a professional. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. So anyway, also on the topic card, I had 33andMe, which was me reading Mike's thing. I didn't get far enough into it to see if he got into 46 and 2. The Golden Mason Pyramid part is what we're talking about now. And if I was fast and slick about it, I'd be able to do the this would have been already prepared because it was on a note card. It should have been one of these. Hey, the Golden Mason Pyramid. But let's make it not a ticker. All right, there it is. Now it's a topic card. The Golden Mason Pyramid is, and I saw one of the few things I watched over on Agapagabalius. Oh, shoot. Yeah, all right, let's get it out of the way. We're going to do this. Sorry, change the topic. Now the topic is estuary saltwater. See, it's on the card. We're doing it. We're still on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. This is the tabletop IC, okay? This medium we have is basically one where we can do asynchronous video conversations with each other. I can be like, hey, Gavin. Hey, Chad. Who else should I tag? I got Gavin and Chad. Who else should I tag into this card? Nate's from Grail Country. We got Chad, Nate, and Gavin. I'm addressing you now. We'll pick the final stranger will be the fifth. I'm asking you as your channel, or Nate, you don't have to put it on your channel. You have responsibilities and stuff. But let's do an online asynchronous video estuary, and this is me putting my topic on the table of that table, and then you guys each put a topic on the table. Don't respond to this topic as a topic. This is my estuarily topic. Don't respond to it as a topic. So, but put your own topics on the table. You, Gavin, Chad, and Nate, and we'll see who the hive mind upvotes as the fifth person in this blind elephant game modification of the estuary protocols. And please clip this and send it to those guys, because I'm pretty sure they're not here.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
All right, let's check in on a comment. I'm way up here, guys. I'm way up at it's called programming for a reason. Let's see. Working backwards, paintball reference. Yay. Hey, it's Steven from Steven's Interview. Thanks for the Uriel take. Like that would you, Steven. You're now the fifth person by my mandate. Bring a topic to the table for our faux pas asynchronous video estuary experiment. Why are you talking about that, Answer Man? I should do it myself. Yes. If there was enough self of me to go around, if my care capacity was so enabled, I certainly would do it myself. Hey, if you're a channel member, you can make a VNA bubble. Isn't that great? Welcome. Some of our brains are slower than the others, but you can watch on different speeds.
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling us exactly what he thinks.
Processing. This is why you load them in advance and don't do it during a live stream.
Tell me that you've lived here your whole life. No, not yet. Are you married? No bad habit. No bad habit, eh? Well, what do you chew that tobacco for? For nothing. Nobody's fool enough to pay me for it. Well, tell me, how far is it to the next crossroads? Follow your nose and you'll come to it. Follow your nose, follow your nose and you'll
Hey, since it's a very special episode and it's a live stream, anything can happen at any time. Clint can say PvKey's sniff test videos eerily similar to vids I've watched of fallen clergy prior support vids. prior support vids, and so the video of PVK we're talking about is of church guys, big church guys in Portland, of all places, that are no longer pastors for some reason. And what like, so like worst case scenario, blue church deck. All right, let's take a blue church perspective. What if Pastor Paul was an instrument of the deep state here to go along with such plays as astroturfing fallen pastors? What if that? And what if you do what good you can in the position you're in? Blue Church card of the show, Jack of Spades. That was fun. Okay, and now on this golden mace, there you made a thing. Hey, you made a thing called a banner, the golden mace and pyramid top. All right, true facts. I tried to look up Agapagabalius's thing. I was over here typing Agapagalogia. Agape apology, is that what it is? Agapapagaga. Christian Golden's channel, and I can't find it. So what do I type in the chat? Tell me, Hive Mind, how do you find Christian Golden's channel? And then we'll finish that topic out finally. Oh, you telepathic heretic hobo hermit, you. Agape logically? Oh God, is that how you spell it? Agapologically. Logically. No, that's not it. You're just I don't know what you're selling, but it makes me uncomfortable. Oh,
We all
Sitting here on my phone, the internet is where I roam. My chat is in the zone. I'm virtually not alone. The devices that I own, reading clips with the flow. As a needy indigo, this corner's now my home.
all right. Thanks to the power of the Hive Mind chat. I think we can figure out a good search term and a mnemonic to remember it by. It's agapologia. And then you run it together, right? It's a gap in logic, like that. Is that it? It's still no. I mean, how can you guys not? Damn it, Christian. Anyway, so he's got this story on there about how his dad was amazing, he was amazing, and they seemed pretty golden. They seemed like little pretty golden Christians, and as such. As such, I got to remind everybody that it's only the nasty part at the top that's known to be corrupt, right? The rest are just like suffering under the corruption, doing the best they can. And they're golden. The pyramids are made of human gold. And the reason the Masons are important is because they're one of the two groups other than the religious group. Well, I guess they are. Shut up. The Masons do an initiation into manhood. There's a before and after. So we have to make sure whatever's covered in their nonsense is also attributed to and accounted for in the God Mask Project. And like, there's tons of videos on why the Masons are bad. There's people who have been in them, and there's people that have what do you call it? Went down that rabbit hole and found all the juicy nuggets. And so if we could get an overall what's up with the Masons thing for our own understanding, particularly as it relates to their initiation into manhood rituals, as that's what we're going to be replacing with the paintball god mask.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Thank you, someone. You make things happen. I'm almost to the symbolic summit grift goal of the thanks to the power of goalposts changing. The trip into Tarpon Springs for the Symbolic World Summit, which goes off in less than 4 weeks now. I don't know the day count yet, but it's less than 4 weeks at this point. So 33andMe is because, like, supposedly at the top of the Mason period is the 33rd degree. A third of the, I don't know. That's supposedly a thing. And that nasty book of graphic novels I gave Pajot from Alan Moore was like they were going up the 32nd pass to the 33rd in the book that talks about Crowley rituals and understanding the tarot and the god Harpocrates, which means me saying that means half of you won't get to see this stream. Thanks, everybody. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. I'm loading up some branding now. Let's go over this new one that we had from Symbolic with the C. And don't forget, that one. That thing where the oscilloscopes, you get to see that the music frequencies make beautiful shapes at different frequencies. Symbolic is branding here. I have to read it, is the thing. Don't let settle your setting. Don't let settle your setting. It's upsetting and unsettling. It's upsetting and unsettling. Resist, reset, deset. A Post subsidiaries public service announcement from Symbolic. So, I need a healing spell to heal from that level of mind control.
It is an awful responsibility which has come to us. We thank God that it has come to us. We thank God that it has come to us instead of to our enemies. And we pray that He may guide us to use it in His ways and for His purposes. His purposes, His purposes, His purposes.
Captain Behan, what was your most outstanding experience on this historic flight?
I suppose it was when the clouds opened up over the target at Nagasaki. Target was there pretty as a picture. I made the run, let the bomb go. That was my greatest thrill,
You need to articulate the good.
Yeah.
I will quote Fifth Element and say that time is not important, only life is important.
Time not important, only life important.
Like love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
Miss, multipass.
I do believe that this consciousness is sort of like a meat popsicle,
as Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element called it?
Sir, are you classified as human? Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Chad just got an elliptical. Chad, get in here. I'll show you what's up. Show you how it's done.
Fifth Element, and the gal that's playing in Fifth Element, I had the same. So I had this tendency to be able to be captured by the stories or the performances, and I think there's something similar to that. If I'm watching a movie or a film and I'm immersed in the story, that's a flow state too.
But life is time. Your life is made up of the time you have. That's all it is.
You see, Father, by creating a little destruction,
A cherry.
I'm in fact encouraging life.
You're a monster, Zook. I know.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender.
Why don't you take this opportunity to answer that in the Hive Mind chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay? What do you want to exist even if you don't? And how much of a difference do you make to it? Boy, howdy, that's a long one, but thanks for Cow. Thanks for Cow. It's over on her channel that she actually puts it on the channel. I'm giving you bonus savings throws against Parlado, who's in the Hive Mind chat today. The savings throws work like this. They're against the mind control. You pick between survival, your will to survive, or your social network, or your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart, survival, social, wisdom, or heart, to resist the mind control. I roll the dice. If it's over 10, you take half damage. So you're hoping for higher than 10 on this die when you say survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survivalists get a 9. A 9. A 9. 9. 9. 9. 9. 9. 9. A 9. Way to go. You only need a +1. Lovers of socialists, 19, prime 19. I like saying the prime ones as that prime one, prime 19. Socialist, lovers of wisdom, 14, pair of 7s. That's like 2 chakras aligned perfect, 2 sets of chakras aligned perfectly. It's 14. That's what you get. Hard folks, just a 7. Just a 7. You're virtually not alone tonight. That's a 7 of heart. Indigo kids with the... So imagine then, if we're an adventuring party on the sea of information, what nuggets you can raid from other ships, even if they're from Michigan. The Michigan deck card of the show. It's February 5th in some parts of the world because we're a global project here. And the Michigan card of the show is the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts. I guess somewhere down in Africa. Like they catch the train down in Africa. All right, we got a high five for the 5th project. Any of you who have a social media presence, make videos and nonsense, why don't you put one of those out? High five for the 5th, everybody. Let's start a thing. Let's do a wave on the ocean, right? Look, we're saying this. See who else says it, because we did. See, watch the waves. Watch the waves. Good night. Good night. Sounds like everybody's ready for bed, or has things to do. +5 for replay comments.